Hello, everyone. Hey, you're in the office with Joseph Skoda from social media shows and other social media platforms out there. But today, I'm going to hear more and more about CBD oils, THC, marijuana, all these different, not acronyms. We all know what marijuana is, but we hear more and more about the oils and how it differentiates and why more and more people, including businesses, are getting involved. And the expert that I know, a very good friend of mine, Dr. David Lohman, who's going to help educate us a little bit better than I can at the moment because we're both involved with CBD oils thanks to this man. Hi, Dave.
How you doing, Joseph?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Tell everybody, first of all, tell me what the difference between the CBD oils and why it's so important to our health.
Okay, you want to know the difference between CBD and like marijuana? Is that what you're talking about?
Sure, that sounds good.
Okay, all right.
Trying to be politically correct.
Okay, well, that's the big thing when we go out there, we start talking about CBD oils. I think that mostly we're reaching the tipping point to where people in American society know that CBD is not marijuana. They know that, but a lot of people are still kind of stuck on that little sticking point right there where they think that, oh, I'm not going to take that marijuana. I don't want to get high and I don't want to have anything to do with drugs, and they don't understand that it is not marijuana. It just isn't. Now, they both come from the cannabis family of plants. That's true.
Sure,
but if you stop to think about it, we're primates as human beings, but so is a chimpanzee. But we're not chimpanzees. We're completely different.
Most days.
Most days. It depends on how you wake up.
Depends how you wake up in the morning,
okay.
right?
All right.
We wake up too.
I'll buy that. I've never seen you wake up in the morning. I don't want to.
There you go.
So the idea is we're both primates, chimpanzees and humans, but we're completely different. Now, both marijuana and hemp come from the cannabis plant, but they're completely different. For example, marijuana is very high in THC. Look at that, man. The sun came out. Marijuana is very high in THC, which is the psychoactive ingredient that makes you get high. Now, in the hemp side of the things, where we get our from the cannabis plant, that's where we get our CBD oils. Now, CBD is going to come in there without the THC. Okay. So you're not going to get high. In fact, when you take the products that we talk about with our CBD oils, you could drink a whole bottle, you won't get high.
So, my understanding is you're not removing the THC; it's already not there, right? Or are you adding to it?
That's true. That's true. Okay. But there is an exception. I want to make sure that everybody knows this. Sometimes people get drug tested at work.
Sure.
Now, when you do the CBD oil, there is about 0.3%. That's less than 1% of THC in there because there is a tiny, tiny bit. Sure. It's not enough to get you high. It's not enough to, you can drive on it. You can drink alcohol with it.
Sure.
It won't interfere with your drugs that you might be taking, your pharmaceuticals.
What kind of drug?
I know. I said that word. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Okay. Choose your words carefully, David. Okay.
Because a lot of people are afraid if they're working the government, if they're a bus driver or taxis, they don't want, obviously, for obvious reasons, don't want to be caught under the influence if something went wrong.
That's true. And I don't think afraid is the word that they should use. I think they should use the word concerned. And that's a legitimate concern. So we do have one that's absolutely THC free, where the THC has been completely removed, but you still get all the CBDs that come with our CBD oil. So you do get the same kind of benefits.
Well, that's a big deal. If at 0.3 or 0.03 or whatever it is doesn't affect us, why isn't all of our products THC free?
Because if you use the THC, it works kind of like a carrier molecule. It works in there like a synergistic thing. They call it the entourage effect. And with that THC, what it'll do is it helps bring on all the other components of the hemp plant and get to work faster and better. A good example of this is if you take vitamins.
Sure.
If you take your vitamins in the morning and you eat an apple with it, all those nutrients, they call it phytonutrients. That means the nutrients come from a plant that are in that apple. They're put there in nature so that they work together and they strengthen everything else. So if you take your vitamins and eat an apple, the vitamins are going to do a lot more work for you because of all the synergistic effect of all the nutrients inside the apple. So you can take fewer vitamins and still get the same effect as long as you're eating it with an apple or any other fruit.
No, I didn't know that. So if I'm...
That's where I get the big bucks.
No, well, you're right. You do get the big bucks. So if I have an apple, an orange, a banana, whatever, and still take the vitamins, it's just that much better.
It's that much better because they work together as a unit.
Wow.
And so everything complements one another. So they call that the entourage effect or synergism. Yeah, they work together, and the outcome is higher than just the sum of the parts.
Wow. So just a little bit of catalyst per se.
Yeah, but the thing is, even if you get it THC free, you're still going to get the benefits of the CBDs, and it's still going to do your body a lot of good. And so, if you're worried about being drug tested, just get the THC free side of our products, and you're going to be fine.
Oh, we know we have oils and creams and lotions, and I don't know, probably eye drops. I'm not really sure. But
no eye drops.
No eye drops. How do we know it's best for us? I know it can help with anxiety. It can help with psoriasis. It can help with even sleeping. So how do we know which product is best for our issue, our problems?
Well, we have the ointment that you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a liniment. It's where you get that. Let's say you have a tennis elbow or something like that.
Sure.
You can take that and you can rub that on where you have the tennis elbow, or you can rub where you have the psoriatic outbreak, and it'll go out there and topically it'll help.
Okay.
But if you want to get in there and work for your body to boost its systems to where the body itself is going to be working at a higher level, that's going to start helping you with things like the anxiety, the depression, the inflammation, the blood pressure, all of these different things that may be affected by CBD, that's all going to happen internally. You want it systemically, so that's why you would take the drops under your tongue.
Okay.
Absorb it that way. It's just kind of like a little eyedropper, getting back to your eyedropper thing. Put that under your tongue, hold it there for about a minute and a half, and then swallow it. You're fine.
Well, that's true, and I do that. I do that because after talking to David I've known him for many, many years, and I know you don't want anything unnatural in your bodies, and you fought drugs and pharmaceuticals for years because being a chiropractor, you believe there's more healthy, natural way to cure our aches and pains, for more or less.
Yeah, and the good thing is you don't have to be a chiropractor to fight that stuff. You just have to be interested in making sure that as a society, we're doing things to make sure that we're putting healthy things into our bodies and not being sold on the ideas of putting poisons and toxins in.
Well, that's the American way.
Unfortunately, it has become that.
Hate to say that.
But you know what else is the American way?
What's that?
People uprising and making changes for the good. And so we are making an uprising right now because we now have CBD is legal federally. It's not against the law federally anymore. And it's legal in all 50 states. And so we are out there making our march to make sure that people understand exactly what it is, that it's not weed, it's not marijuana, it doesn't get you high. It has all these different benefits that it can help your body. And you can get out there and you can try that now. We're fighting that good fight. And so I expect that we're going to see more and more challenges from the big pharma, we call it, the pharmaceutical industry. We're going to see more challenges. They're trying to make artificial CBDs, and we call it isolate because it's just isolated CBDs. Again, you're not getting all of that synergistic effect, and it's never going to work as well. And the thing that scares me is if they do successfully do an isolate, then it's going to be prescribed. And if it's prescribed, they're going to try to knock all of our natural CBDs off the market. But I don't think that's going to be possible anymore because I think that the tipping point has been reached. The pendulum has swung the other way. We know that it's not poison. We know that it's not a drug. We know you're not going to get high. And we know that it's a great healing adjunct.
Okay, so more and more people are buying into the health benefits. How do we not necessarily convince, but educate more people to realize that this is a good thing for us?
I find that most people are open-minded. Most people want to hear about that. When you start to talk about it, there's always that little thing in the back of their mind that says, oh, this is marijuana. But most people are open-minded with to listen to it. Some people aren't. They just won't listen to it. They say, oh, it's a drug, it's dangerous, and all that. There's nothing you can do about that. Just love them through it.
Love them through it.
Like
any other issues.
And just give them time, and maybe they'll come back. But what we're trying to do is we are trying to help the people that want to be helped. And so when people are open-minded, I've got a lot of people that when they first started hearing me talk about the CBD, they say, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with that.
Sure.
And then a couple weeks in.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
And a couple months in, you were.
Yes.
A couple months in, they come back to me and they try to do it on the backside so nobody knows it. Hey, Dave, I just really want to know. And they find out about it. And then they start trying it. And the reason they try is because I give them a 60-day money-back guarantee.
Well, that's a good thing. Our company does give a 60-day back money guarantee. Well, one quick thing. We see CBD oils in the CVS and Walgreens now and some of the other places off the counter. We can find these products. How do we know we're getting the best quality that's best for us?
Well, there's two ways. One is you can educate yourself and you can find out what's in there and take a look and start reading the labels and finding out what's in there. If there's anything else in there, even if it's vegetable oil or if it's coconut oil, which we all think it's good, or if they add some omega-3s, which they don't need to do because hemp oil is already a great omega antioxidant.
I've seen some with salmon oil in it right now.
And that tastes so bad, but that doesn't help. Our product comes completely 100% from the plant. It's all the plant and from the plant. And so even the oil that we use comes from the hemp seeds themselves. That's how we get our oils, to dilute it down to the proper strength that we want to have it.
Okay.
And so that's where it all comes from. The other thing is, our company, which is, by the way, I just want to go ahead and just give a shout out. Our company that we use is HempWorks. HempWorks. You take a look at HempWorks, and when you go there, you're going to find. We're going to give you an address at the end of this. It's going to be Joe's address where you can go find the HempWorks. And we want you to go there so that you can see it. Yeah. But the thing is, when you go there, you will find that we were one of only 13 companies worldwide that were actually certified to be top notch. To make the awards, you had to be truth in advertising, truth in marketing, and truth in labeling. All these things had to be there, and we're only one of 13 companies worldwide. So we're pretty proud of that fact that we're. And if you take a look, you can just take a look at our product, and you can just, I mean, I know you need to really get under a microscope and do all this stuff, but you can take a look. It's clear. It's clear. It's the color of the plant. It's clean, and there's no cloudiness to it. And you just look at it, and you get a pretty good feeling. But the thing is, the proof is in the pudding. We have the certification.
We have the certification.
Yeah, and so we are certified as one of the only 13 companies worldwide.
If I'm not mistaken, it's made in Kentucky.
Grown in Kentucky, yeah.
Grown in Kentucky, right here in the United States. Right. The girl US of A. It's not imported from China or anywhere else.
We get our hemp products from the biggest and the best and the highest quality certified hemp fields in America.
Well, I appreciate that, Dave. We're going to take a break and come back on another segment here and get a little more details about why you're involved to begin with. So,
okay, we'll do that on another video, right?
Absolutely.
Why don't you go ahead and give them your
well, you're going to get that information at the end of the video, and it's going to be a lot of fun because there's a lot of good things going on. So God bless you. Stand by. We'll get back with you. This has been In the Office with Joseph Scota. Bye.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World...
Social media shows
is about
branding, opportunity,
and outreach.
We are an entertainment company that empowers others
by promoting and supporting our community and everyone who reaches our content.
Here on social media shows,
Here we're a family.
We are family. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, sing. We are family.
We are family.
We are family. We are family.
We are family.
We are family, and we want you to be part of our social media shows family.
There you go. Hi.
Hey everyone, this is Joseph Skoda again in the office of Joseph Skoda, where I've been talking about CBD oils and the healthful benefits with Dr. Dave Lowen here.
Hey.
So please continue to join us. I'm glad you're back with us, Dave. Thanks.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
And like I was mentioning earlier, we've been friends a long time. We don't BS each other. We kid around a lot.
Yep.
We're both Air Force veterans, which is pretty good. My career stayed in the military. You went out, became a chiropractor, and done a lot of things since then. Mm-hmm. And you're on the public speaking circuit, and we're both Toastmasters. We have a lot in common. Mm-hmm. In fact, we even just came from a big Toastmasters event recently. But I want to talk more and more about not just CBD oils in particular, but hemp. And why we know hemp makes rope and even houses and some other things, clothing, but we don't see it widespread. Why is that?
Well, because back in the 1930s, they made it illegal to use hemp. Before that, you would see hemp in clothing. You would see it in rope. You would see it in buildings. You'd actually see buildings built out of it. Did you know that they actually make car bodies, complete car bodies out of hemp?
Car bodies?
Car bodies.
Wow.
They can do that. In fact, Henry Ford did that before it was illegal. But what happened was, back in the day, there were people who had other interests in business.
Sure.
Now, let me drop a name on you that everybody will probably recognize. That's William Randolph Hearst. You know Hearst Castle.
I do. I do very well. Not too far from here.
Yeah, it's a nice place to go, a nice place to visit. Get out of there.
Get out of there.
Yeah. But it is a very nice place. You should, if you haven't seen Hearst Castle, you've got to see it. It's just amazing.
I was involved in a Lady Gaga video, Guy. G-U-Y up there a couple of years ago.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
I remember you doing that.
Yeah, I was a business guy throwing money in the air that wasn't real.
Yeah.
If it was real, I probably would have kept it.
Yeah.
It was
okay.
fun.
So that's good. I'm glad you did that.
There it is, William Hearst. Let's go back to the story. Yes.
Joe and Lady Gaga.
Joe and Lady Gaga.
There you go. So he had these interests in, he had all these newspapers, right?
Right.
Guess what else he had? Huge interest in timber.
Timber.
Now, what do they make out of timber? Houses,
wood, well, paper,
and all that stuff. Wood.
Pencils.
Okay, so what he was using his timber, and he was making a lot of money supporting his other ventures. He was building houses and building office buildings and all this stuff he was building.
Sure.
Plus, he had all these newspapers he was making paper for and selling to. So he wanted to make sure that all of the money went to the timber industry, not the hemp industry. So they pulled this really sneaky thing. Yeah, go ahead. What?
No, Hearst? No. We wouldn't do anything underhanded, would he?
No, I know.
Okay.
So what happened was, now, hemp and marijuana are both in the cannabis family.
Sure.
So what they did was, marijuana wasn't even called marijuana until about that time. And what they did was they did this great big huge scare thing about all the dangers of the drugs, marijuana, and how it just drives you crazy and all that. You remember, you've seen some of the movies. So.
Yeah.
And from the 30s. And what they did was they wanted to outlaw it for the safety of the American public. They wanted to outlaw marijuana. But what they did was they said, we're going to call it cannabis. Now, when they did that, that outlawed hemp. So you got marijuana and you got hemp. Both come from the cannabis, but they outlawed cannabis. So now you couldn't use hemp anymore. So that took it off of the industrial market. So you don't get the textiles, you don't get the building materials, you don't get the health benefits of the CBDs. And that's how that happened. And that stayed illegal until January 1st of this year.
Really?
Yeah, and so, or last year, excuse me, 2019? Anyway, it's legal now.
It's legal now. We're good.
I forget my days, how about that?
We have to check every day what the day is.
And so what happens is, now it's federally, it is no longer illegal. Yeah, it's not illegal anymore. So it's not a federal thing. Like marijuana is still illegal federally. Sure. The states are embracing it. They're saying you can use it in the states.
There's medical
California, Washington,
right.
Colorado, and a lot of other ones are doing that now. So you can use marijuana, but federally it's still a crime. But with CBD, it's not. CBD says it's legal now. It's all good, and it's legal in all 50 states. And that's why you're starting to see it. So we've already come up, and so we're already a huge $10 billion industry, but they expect that to go up to $22 billion by the year 2022 for the hemp industry in itself. And that's not just
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a huge industry. It's going to be one of the major industries in the entire world, and that's just in the United States. And so this is really going to be picking up stuff. And so there's a lot of people that are investing in the different hemp things.
Sure.
And just like which CBD oil do you buy,
Right,
which
right.
hemp stock you buy is also important. So you got to really research that because some of them are not really what you want to do. So be careful with that too.
That's important. We're involved with HempWorks, which is number 13. I think in the world is certified.
What's one of the 13?
One of 13 that's certified to do it. It's made here, grown in the United States of America, Kentucky, Midwest, close to my hometowns, and but we see it. We see it in the drugstores now sell CBD oil and other places, even online, everywhere. How do we know we're getting the best product? We talk about a lot, and sometimes we'll see 4 or 5 different ones. Some will be thicker than others, some will be clearer than others. How do we really know we're getting the best bang for our buck?
That's a really good question. And I think before I answer that one, can I ask the question, why is it important to get the best bang for our buck?
Why is it important to get the best bang for your buck?
Well, I had the same question in mind.
All right, tell me more. Tell me more.
So the idea is that you want to make sure that if you're going to be using a product, any product, if it's a health product, you want to get the best one inside your body that you possibly can. And the thing is, when you're taking a look, this is a food. And the food comes from a plant. Okay. And the plant is in nature designed with all these different ingredients and all these nutrients inside of it that work together to be stronger. And if you start messing with that combination by adding anything to it, just even water to it, which some of them have water added to it, or coconut oil, or vegetable oil, or what did you say the other one was?
Salmon oil, omega-3s.
And that, well, that's interesting because the omega-3s, hemp oil itself is an antioxidant. It's a really powerful antioxidant. So when you start to take the hemp oil, the CBDs, you're going to get all the antioxidants. You
don't need the other stuff.
No, and so that's kind of an additive thing. It's a sales thing, but what it does is that they're taking up space to put that stuff in there, while they could be putting more hemp in there to get more CBD and getting all of these things to work synergistically.
Sure.
To make it stronger for you. Well, it's kind of a wasted product. But you also have to start to see that a lot of these things have been tested privately by third-party testers. By the way, ours is third-party tested. We don't just do it ourselves.
That's important.
It is. And so, and then when they did that, they went to the stores and they bought these things right off the shelf, and they found out that out of all the ones that they tested, one had the amount of CBD that it said it was going to have. Some of them had anything in it from water to the oils to contaminants like bacteria that shouldn't be there. Some of them didn't even have any CBD in it at all. And so when you go and see this stuff in the shelf, you may be getting a good product, you might not. But the thing is, I can guarantee you, when you buy a product from HempWorks, from our company that we use, you are getting the best quality product you can possibly get.
That's huge, because we'll just anytime something new comes out, there's competition, and there's knockoffs, and trying to get the price lower. And the more additives we add to something lowers the price, but sometimes we're getting poisoned. I mean, we see it in our everyday foods. Even organic food's expensive, and sometimes it's organic, sometimes it's not. But the cheaper the product, it seems like the more additives, the more potential dangers out there. And not necessarily. I mean, something can be $5 and be the best thing in the world, like a good bottle of wine. And we live in a wine country too.
Yeah, we do. Well, the labs where things are processed have to be adhering to highest and best practices, and some of those labs aren't doing that. Some of them just don't care because they know they put it in a bottle with a label on it, and they give you a really low price.
True.
That so you get stuff that's costing a quarter the price of ours, but you're buying stuff that's not going to do 1/4 the good that ours is going to do for you. It's just not a good product. You cannot get a quality product like ours for $8.
No way.
You can't.
No way.
You cannot do it.
No way.
And so the idea is, it is going to cost you a little bit more than $8. That's true. But the thing is, you want to make sure that when you take a look at that there's got to be a reason why. And a lot of these things you're talking about fillers, and you're also talking about some things that they put in there that they want you to buy it because it has omega-3s, because it has vitamin D, whatever it does. And all of that stuff, it's not part of the synergy. If you're going to take some vitamin D, go out and get some sun, take some vitamin D.
Go take some vitamin D, go take some vitamin C.
Yeah, but what we're doing is we're buying a product, and that product is the CBD oils, and this is the best that you can buy.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you, and you and I obviously live in California, and you can get like a medical marijuana license just like that. Go see any doctor, say you're stressed or depressed, and they'll give it to you, give you permission to buy. Of course, you don't need that anymore in California, but for years, that's how people got by it, just being told they're crazy. But let's go. Besides, is there a big difference in treating, let's say, anxiety or depression with CBD or marijuana.
Okay, that's a really good point. Now, let me give you a disclaimer before we go too far forward.
Sure.
Because of the way things are still regulated, and because of the fact that our United States government has the patent on cannabis, believe it or not, which I think is totally wrong, but that's my...
Patent on almost everything, yes.
Yeah, so we have to have this disclaimer that we do not diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. But if you take a look at the testimonials, if you take a look at the research, and I'll tell you in just a minute how to do that. If you take a look at the testimonials and the research, you will see that people are taking CBD for, not to treat or cure, anxiety, depression, arthritis, sleep issues, body pain, all kinds of different things, and getting really nice results.
Sure.
So make sure that you word that properly and understand that that's going to happen. Now, if you want to find out how does CBD work and where is the research going, simply go to your search engine and just type in CBD and whatever condition you want to take a look at. CBD and arthritis, CBD anxiety, CBD seizures, big deal. Seizures, huge deal. CBD working with seizures.
Seizures, CBD psoriasis, CBD cirrhosis, CBD, all those things.
Yeah, I looked up CBD and baldness. There's nothing there.
Nothing there. A tonic for you yet?
I'll tell you what, if that ever comes through, it's gonna be a big deal.
I bet.
Yeah.
No, those are good points. Now, obviously, we're talking about HempWorks, and in my website to learn more is smarthealthyoils.com. Smarthealthyoils.com. Sorry about that. You'll see more on the website. And we're working with revolutionradio2.com, and they share a lot of the information we got going on. And of course, I'm on social media shows, and you can see Driving with Dr. Dave and so many other ways. How can people find you?
Type in my name on Facebook and go there and find me there. That's the big deal. And I don't want to give my website because I don't want to.
Sure, I understand that. Right.
This is your show.
Yeah, we can learn more about Dr. Dave or in the office and different things we're involved with. And just over the past couple months for me, but past year for you, more or less, you got more and more involved with the health benefits of CBD oils. And even though you've been in the health field for a long time, probably were, well, not pushing medications because you can't, but different lotions and creams, but you find this to be right up there with the other stuff.
Even before it was legalized, I always knew that because I've seen the research.
Okay.
I've read the studies, and I know that the benefits of the ingredients of the hemp plant, the cannabis in general, okay? I've known that those things are so important. Take a look at CBD and cancer. Look that up if you want to get your mind blown, and take a really serious look at that one. A lot of people take the CBD oil to help with the nausea too that comes along with cancer treatments.
Well, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
that's a
Good
really
thing
big
of
deal.
that one.
Yeah, but I always knew that it was a great thing that we can do this because it's natural, it has no side effects, and that's a really huge deal because every single drug that's licensed by the FDA that you have to have a prescription for. Why do you think they have prescriptions? Because people can get hurt, they can get sick, they can die from some of these different drugs. With CBD, guess how many people have died from CBD oil in the last 100 years?
Probably none directly.
None.
None at all.
None at all.
Zero. None from CBD oils.
No, they haven't. And so you can't say that about alcohol. You can't say that about all the prescription drugs.
Marijuana, right?
Yeah, you can't even say that about a car.
That's for sure.
Yeah, or a hammer. People die from hammers directly. So,
that's right.
But with CBD, that's not going to happen.
So CBD, it's not addictive. Obviously, you try how many drops under your tongue a couple times a day, whatever works best for you and your ailments. And it not necessarily hit and miss, but you just try what works best for you. It's different for everyone, but there are real benefits out there, and you can eventually get rid of your medication. Your depression meds, your anxiety meds, and some of the other things, or at least minimize, if nothing else. So I love the idea. It's not addictive. It's purely natural. And you can see. It's not in a pill where you don't know what's in that pill. You can see what you're putting in your system.
When it made it legal, I started using it, and I started seeing the results right away. I'll give you my personal story really quickly. It says I was having trouble. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, with nightmares. And it was happening frequently. And I don't know why it started, but it did, and it's been going on for years.
Sure.
I started taking CBD, and the very first night that I took the CBD, I slept all the night through. Wow. And it works all the time. And now if I do wake up at all, And the first thing I'm thinking is, oh my gosh, I'm awake now and I'm not going to be able to go back
Right.
to sleep. And that's my last thought, because I go right back to sleep because I'm not bothered by those things anymore. So sleep is a really huge thing for me. Anxiety, that's a form of anxiety. And so
It is.
I don't even know that I got anxiety. I just think that life is great, but that's the way it works, you know? And so maybe I'm worried about my kids. Who knows what the problem is?
You have anxiety.
Yeah.
I've for a while. We both do for different reasons.
So when I started seeing this kind of progress, I had a patient come in and she was on an anti-anxiety and an antidepressant, both, because she was going through a really tough time in her life. I said, you've got to get off of this stuff. And she says, well, what do you think I should do? And I said, you got to try the CBD. And sure enough, within 10 days, she was off of both of those medicines. It was just amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was just totally amazing. So when that stuff starts happening, you start seeing these types of results.
Right.
And the people's lives are absolutely changed, and there's no side effects, and they're not regulated by the government. That's a good thing for me.
It's a good thing. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You can actually take a vacation, enjoy life
Yeah.
a little bit better. Well, I really want to thank you for talking to us. We're social media shows and talk about Revolution Radio too, and so we get the word out to more and more people. But it's the testimonies, like you say. Go to the website, CBD cancer, CBD depression, CBD oils, whatever your illness may be, and you'll find the benefits, and you'll find testimony after testimony after testimony.
And studies.
And studies.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do, come look us up. Anyways, it's been In the Office with Joseph Skoda. I look forward to sharing with you more in the future, but more importantly, we want to hear your story. Have yourself a great day. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you
I
too,
appreciate you. Bye now.